wanna know what I do when I'm sad? Nothing. When I'm scared, nothing. Fucking nothing. I'm not a fucking pussy. I breathe, I square up, I move. I don't post it, don't vent it. I fold the feeling, put it in the inside pocket. I keep walking, the room adjusts. I'm the man. I get the job done. I'm on a mission. No begging, no drama. Checklist pinned or done. Silence on my side. Pressure in my palm. All lost for courage I had. They look for comfort, I look for the switch. They look for someone to fix it, I already did. I keep my word, I keep my pace. I keep my hands clean and my aim steady. If I speak, it's to finish. If I don't, the work is speaking. I don't freeze, I focus, I don't float, I deliver. I'm the man. I get the job done. I'm on a mission. Just like the rest of you, I'm smarter, I'm stronger, I am, but I'm better. I don't chase noise, I stack results. You chase eyes, I chase the line. I keep my word, you keep excuses. I lift the room, you lift your phone. You talk first, I think longer. You need a crowd, I need a plan. You fear silence, I work in it. You want the look, I want the edge. You spin stories, I keep receipts. You call it love, I call it ours. You want shortcuts, I want outcomes. You choose comfort, I choose climb. You trade respect for attention. You trade time for little hits. You ask to be understood. I let results do the talking. You blame weather, I bring my own. You fear mirrors, I study mine. You say someday, I say now. You wait for green lights, I build roads. If I speak, it's final. If I'm quiet, I'm working. If you doubt, keep watching. The proof arrives on schedule. listening. Every sentence shows a scene. I count your tales like stairs. I let you empty the clip. You fill the room, I fill the silence. You chase approval, I watch the clock. No rush, patience is pressure. No heat, just angles and notes. Unmark your habits, who you look at, where your eyes go when you blur. I learned the hand before the cards. I nod, you keep talking. I don't argue, I confirm. I don't wanna lie. You explain yourself to air. I explain myself to reset. When I move, the board is soft. A clean step, clean finish. By the time you hear my voice, the door has already chosen a side. No anger, just number. No noise, just think. You talk, I study, I make. Winter quiet, the room tilts, eyes track us like radar. Nobody smiles, too high, glasses stop mid-air. We move one line, same pace, no chatter, just breath. Jackets closed, hands clean, the floor learns our route. They look at us like a pride of sharks. Fins in suits, water in our wall. Brave feels it first, heart on fast forward. The air tastes like metal and focus. We don't raise voices, we raise pressure, we don't crowd. Space chooses us, if I speak it, it's already settled. If I don't, the silence does the math. That hush is fuel, that stare is fuel, that small shake in their glass fuel. We ride it calm and forward. No need to warn, the current wants. No need to rush, the tide is ours. We pass and the room resets. We leave and the night keeps score. I hear you speak, I choose not to answer. Silence is my power, I spend it slow. If you hear me talk, the game is over. They spin in circles, I walk a line. Eyes follow when I step and find. I don't pause to explain. Respect lands on the table by itself. I sign with a nod and move on. I don't chase, I don't beg. What is mine knows the address. If you doubt my word, keep watching. The bill always finds its hands. They argue about route. I take the stairs. They want noise. I prefer results. I'm polite, but I cut clean. shake hands, the room correct. Plans check the watch when I arrive. Doors open because they should. I don't ask for permission. I act and calendars adjust. I carry my own faith, not for show. Quiet steps, heavy truth. If I speak, it's a full stop. If I don't, you already know. The lobby takes a breath and fixes his tie. My name will rise before I do, needle folded in the air. Eyes land like a small aircraft on a calm sea. I register traffic, not turbulence, and keep walking. I don't audition for the room auditions manners. Applause is an auction I don't attend. The carpet underlines my path and quieting. Chandeliers study discipline and patch. I keep tomorrow in the inside pocket. Blueprint crease once. Elevators learn my floor by heart. I still take the stairs. Ambition isn't loud, just punctual. It meets me at the landing with the key. Conversations reach toward me like vines of glass. I nod and let them find their trellis elsewhere. I'm friendly the way marble is friendly, cold, dependable, carrying the weight. If someone needs a reason, the ceiling can explain. If someone needs a verdict, the cutlery decides. I pour water that behaves like thunder. The table straightens without being told. They rehearse, curate, and smoke at surfaces. I prefer windows that open to cranes and clean lines. The city measures itself against my sleeve. The sleeve remains unimpressed and correct. I skip the ceremony of being understood. Results do the introductions after I leave. Receipts file themselves under inevitable. The staff writes my pace into policy. I carry silence the way a lighthouse carries flame. Seen and needed, otherwise assumed. When I set my glass down, calendars click into place. When I rise, tomorrow stands and buttons is cold. Brushes the door in the manners. Eyes collect on me like corns in a dish. I notice the way you know weather. Interesting brief, not changing my stride. Chairs lean a fraction toward the quiet. Glassware tries on a smaller breath. The carpet smooths its little rumors, and ceiling practice holding still. I let the silence handle those seductions. Pocket watch keeps time on low. If a name is needed, a room provides it. I'm busy with the angle of my cuff. They measure distance with their staring. The daybreak calls before it reads. I wonder at the fuss, the way a winter wonders at the geese that moves on. Water and crystal, the polite is thunder. One knot and cutlery behave. Portraits pretend to study sconces, but every frame has found my pace. Stoic is the word the clocks will use. If I allow them second thoughts, I keep my weather neatly folded. It does the speaking, I do not. If I choose a sentence, doors corrected. If not, the air conducts itself. Let them practice orbit with their glances. My path is straight and paid in hush. I pass through like a well-made line, ain't deciding what it needs. They can keep the question in their saucers. I keep the answer in my sleeve. Anything you master silence, you practiced it. You think you know the dark, you visited it. I grew up where voices don't echo. I learned to breathe on the velvet stones. You wore the night like a costume. I wore it like skin. You bought a quiet forfeit. Quiet raised me, fed me rules. I didn't meet in daylight till I was grown. When it finally showed, it shouted. It tried to blind, I closed it like a door. But my coat kept moving. You stutter stillness like a trick. I use it like a tool. You wait for courage to arrive. I work while the room holds its breath. I don't fear the dark, it clocks in for me. I don't chase a noise, it's chasing me in tires. If I speak, that's the finish. If I don't, you already know. Your quiet shakes my ways of time. Your shadow asks for permission. Mine signs the ledger. We are not the same. Remember that when the lights go out. that refuse to lock, keep their shine. I let the corridor decide its own width. I don't bid at auctions of attention. My chair holds shade without a name card. The street can practice missing me. I don't send footprints back to argue. Some doors like their secrets lacquered. I leave them to their favorite varnish. What tilts away stays tilted. My spine doesn't learn the angle. Values and argue in the lobby. It's wait in the quiet after coats are clean. I sign my silence with a fountain nib. Cap it, slip it past the noise. Service was excellent, wine behaved, and absence has a surcharge most forget. The ledger travels in a leather folder, presented softly left beside the plate. Gratuity is optional, interest is in arithmetic favors the one who left politely. I finish the water, not the bottle. Leave the napkin, folded chair aligned. If eyes look back for a discount, the sum on the paper will teach the price. I step into weather that knows my name. No pursuit, no bargain, only pace. What was meant to stay sits beside me. What wasn't learns its numbers late. Round table rehearsed the revolution. I booked the long hallway. Coffee ring, bloom on memos while I draw a clean horizon through the page. They all be yesterday in polished shoes. I button tomorrow to my sleeve. The lobby mirrors pass each other forever. I pick a door and make it lunch. Elevators argue over floors. I take the stairs and let my breath decide. Committee notes curl back on themselves. My pen keeps the plumb line honest. They call it carousel momentum. I call it music without a roll. Complaints rise like steam from a heavy cup. I open a window and continue. It's quiet in the lane that doesn't bend. Good quiet, cufflink steady. Footsteps sound like a ruler, tapping marble. Forward, forward, done. Faces at the edges wait for consensus to green light their spine. I nod to no one in particular, and the corridor straightens out. They redraw circles with finer ink, then gather to admire the loop. I sign the margin where the arrow lies, and leave the circle to its praise. Group chat stack identical questions. I send a period and walk. If my voice enters the room, it's only to close the fire that chased itself. The measure bravery by the size of the crowd. I measure it by distance. Chandeliers talking rings about rings. I prefer the aisle and a coat that fits. 1,000 glances looking sideways still add up to standing still. I keep my weather folded in a pocket square. I move through theirs untouched. Alone isn't empty, it's aligned with purpose, iron flat and true. They wait for signals from each other. I travel by north kept quiet. When the whole way finally whispers enough, the corners fall in line. By then what needed moving has already learned my stride. Group check mouths my surname like a password. Manners fold themselves when I lift a hand. Group chats dim the second glassware settles. The metro de-edit noise descend. I breathe. The minutes sign their ledger. I nod. The corners of the room understand. If my voice enters, the matter's already history. No volume, just architecture choosing sides. By the time I answer, ink is sleeping. They study my next step and still arrive behind. Elevators wait a beat on my flumber. Key cards behave when I straighten the cuff. They rehearse my habits like a weather report. Forecast right, timing wrong, never enough. I clear my throat and contracts remember how to close themselves without a fuss. If my voice enters, the matter's already history. No volume, just architecture choosing sides. By the time I answer, ink is sleeping. They study my next step and still arrive behind. I keep the thunder courtier buttoned under linen. Silence rides the tie clip, polished patient shore. The outer circle clinks too hard at corners, counting breaths they cannot cure. Waiters trade glances like on plate cards. Chairs lean closer when I set down thought. Smiles across the table, try on courage. Find the fit too tight, return it to the box. I lift a brow, calendars adjust. What needs deciding learns to walk. If my voice enters, the matter's already history. I speak once, the hallway chooses width. They know my pattern doesn't help them. I leave with weather on a leash. Coat check knows my time to the minute. And chairs lean in when I uncross a thought. Manners close before I point habit. Group chats go quiet when my glass lands soft. If you hear me speak, the verdict's yesterday. I don't raise a tone, the ceilings do it for me. By the time I answer, ink's asleep. Out on the edges, hands forget what to do. They read my sleep straighten calendars. Keys pausing a lot when I pass the hall. I lift a brow, the math complete itself. They know my next move because I always make it. A nod and a room remembers posture. I keep the thunder button, storms obey. I lace a night like patient stitch, wool cold brushing spinal doors. My shadow folds itself at heel. Lamplight keeps its posture sure. I let the corridor finish speaking, then set the hinges back to calm. Parking watch, breath steady as a cello. One click for weather, one for will. I taste the room without a word. Even the carpets learn to still. I travel under velvet ceilings, leave no echo, only form. Not and all the glass remembers how to hold a quiet warm. If anyone looks up to measure, they'll find the scales already true. I do not ring, yet every hallway knows exactly what to do. Gloves sleep flat on polished wood. Ink behaves inside its well. I write my answers with absence first. Let porcelain carry what I won't tell. Eyes across the gallery soften, reading a page that isn't there. Silver learns my fingerprint by rumor. Matchbooks bold without a spark. I let the clocks go on ahead. They only prove I own the dark. I travel under velvet ceiling, leave no echo, only form. Not and all the glass remember how to hold the quiet warm. If anyone looks up to measure, they'll find the scales already true. I do not ring, yet every hallway knows exactly what to do. I keep my consonants in jacket lining, vowels resting like winter rain. One sleeve adjusts, mirrors align. Even the portraits drop my name. No smoke, but all the candles lean. No threat, yet every storm stands straight. I let the silverware choose its places. Place cards settle in their skin. The city hums beneath the marble, and I walk through, not making wind. What needed choosing finds its shape the moment I pass by. I travel under velvet ceilings, leave no echo, only foam. A nod and all the glass remembers how to hold her quite warm. If doors decide to open wider, it's only courtesy in bloom. I never hurry, I arrive, and silence rearranges rooms. Head brim low, the night will manner. Footstep folded, edges pressed. I leave a line where echoes end, and let the quiet sign the rest. Red lampshades hum over leather hearse. Back booth with a wall at our spine. Coats that know their places drift to hooks. Ballet tickets line up like a line of verse. And art sets glassware to a smaller bread. The door learns which way to lean. Waiters trade glances like playing cards. And piano softens under my sleeve. One touch to the matchbook unlit, and every clock agrees. We move like a corridor of velvet. Polish first and fade in tow. Hands speak quietly in silver. Chairs obey the undertow. From the balcony edges, faces hover, porcelain nerves, eyes that snow. No banners, just a binding hush that tells the city what it knows. Monograms sleep on the envelopes. Ink walks straight and never runs. Laughter stays in a dark decanter, poured in measures none can judge. Footsteps count themselves to stillness. The floor forgets its creak by heart. Code check numbers breathe like verses, lined up neat, winter calm. I set a ring down, bare and patient, brass remembers every palm. We move like a corridor of velvet. Polish first, then fade in tow. and speak quietly in silver. Chairs obey the undertow. From the balcony edges, faces hover, porcelain nerves, eyes that snow. No banners, just a binding hush that tells the city what it knows. Corner frames adjust without asking. Cameras blink and choose to pray. Hallway mirrors hold that posture. Red exit letters fade to gray. The outer ring stirs tea too long. Listens hard for what we don't say. We sit with etiquette at our elbows, backs to bricks, sidelines clean. Water not fireworks, ice that thinks. Cutlery set to discipline. I clear my throat, the room concludes. Ink dries faster when I breathe. We move like a corridor of velvet, polished first and fade in tow. Hands speak quietly in silver. Chairs obey the undertow. From the balcony edges, faces hover, china fragile, pale to blow. If I let a syllable cross the table, the ledger closes on its own. No thunder, only tailored weather. The night salutes and walks us home.
I arrive with a coat check counting seconds, hush-stitched needle on the seams, gloves try for purchase on the marble, find only weather polish clean. They bring their nets of little questions. I step through dry and leave no thread. The room rehearses on my breathing. Strings aligned to a measured blink. I set a glass down, crystal shivers, and every plan forgets its aim. I wear quiet like a tailored verdict, kept under linen, warm as steel. When I choose a single syllable, the table knows which way to kneel. No thunder, just the weight of manners, a nod that straightens crooked deals. By the time a word leaves my cuff, the outcome's already signed and sealed. Study pause as if help maps could help. Compass is spinning in velvet air. Portraits squint and fail to name me. Titles loosen at the stair. I let the clocks walk out ahead. They reach the end and I'm already there. Candles stand like soldiers listening. Wax held tight as winter bone. I clear my throat, doors correct themselves. Footnotes bow to be alone. I wear quiet like a tailored verdict, kept under linen, warm as steel. When I choose a single syllable, the table knows which way to kneel. No thunder, just the weight of manners, a nod that straightens crooked deals. By the time a word leaves my cuff, the outcome's already signed and sealed. I keep my consonants in velvet cases, vowels tuned low like cellar strings. One touch to the bell, thin silver, and weather remembers who it serves. The ledger closes of its own accord. Ink behaves when I adjust my tie. The chairs lean in at the faintest tilt. I let the silence pour the wine. A single phrase pared down in postures, magnolia cold, cathedral fine. What needed guiding finds its posture without my hand upon the spine. I wear quiet like a tailored verdict, kept under linen, warm as steel. When I send a syllable across, the chessboard moves of its free will. No thunder, just the law of courtesy, a glance that teaches storms to heal. By the time the note leaves my tongue, the finish has already learned to kneel. I button eye to the last black pearl, leave the echo in perfect health. I don't arrive to claim the crown, I let the room crown itself. I sign the skyline with quiet cranes. Elevators learn my flow by heart. Gloves nod when I arrive the room. Tucks in its corner, smooth its starch. Wolves wear etiquette around me. Silver leashes polish fangs at rest. I count my breathing like a string section. One bow for thunder, one for grace. Chairs pull themselves a measured inch whenever I adjust my cuff. I toast with water from a dark decanter. Let violence translate my restraint. I keep a letter opener in the flowers, still asleep beside the saint. What rises finds me on the upper landing. No hurry, just a balcony of fate. I fold the night into my pocket square and watch the chandeliers behave. She chose a waltz that ended early. The band packed up while candles bled. Now breakfast comes with thin porcelain and laughter that sounds underfed. There's a smile across the table borrowed, polished for company seldom worn. Mirrors lean hard over her shoulder, edges tasting something gone. A ring sits heavy like a winter coin. tones hum of iron and dawn. I toasted water from a dark decanter. Let violins translate my restraint. I keep a letter opener in the flowers, still asleep beside the saint. What rises finds me on the upper landing. No hurry, just a balcony of fate. I fold the night into my pocket square and watch the chandeliers behave. He counts the knives as if they're trophies, names each one by a day a week. She stirs her tea until it circles, like a promise she can't speak. I place my silence on her shoulder, a coat she once refused to wear. The doormen practice softer footsteps. I tip the moon and not the man. Contracts travel in leather envelopes, ink settling like disciplined rain. I open doors and let them answer, mahogany with perfect manners. I toast with water from a dark decanter. Let violins translate my restraint. I keep a letter opener in the flowers, still asleep beside the saint. But rose kept rising, found me waiting. Upper gallery, measured gate. If footsteps echo down that staircase, they'll meet a room that knows my name. I bow without a crease of thunder, and every portrait holds its breath. I walk like weather folded in a coat, polished Hirsch on the marble of my name. Cufflinks catching midnight, nothing loud. I pour the silence first, and the flame. I don't chase echoes, doors unhook themselves. A violent breeze, and the room remembers how. I learned from winter how to hold a word until it shines like glass between the teeth. I don't raise my voice, chairs lean closer. What's meant for me arrives on quiet feet. I move like a rumor in velvet, a blade kept under a book's warm page. If she turns back, the air will tell her I left my cologne on the empty stage. Not bitter, just balanced and patient, a nod and the thunder minds its place. I keep the waltz in my pocket and danger smiles behind good taste. Chessboard breeze, bishops in the walls, ink dries slow on a handshake's O's. I count to 10 while storms rehearse, and let the metronome teach them poise. I polish mercy like a silver watch, wind it once and let the minutes choose. Curtains stir when I adjust my tie, candles stand at attention in their brass. I let the silence set the table first, then speak, and watch the ripples pass. I move like a rumor in velvet, a blade kept under a book's warm page. If she turns back, the air will tell her I left my cologne on the empty stage. Not bitter, just balanced and patient, a nod and the thunder minds its place. I keep the waltz in my pocket and danger smiles behind good taste. I keep the waltz
on a short proverb. Feed them manners, let them sleep. I touch the crystal once clear note, and every restless shadow keeps eyeing out the night with steady hands. Black tie stitched to a measured breath. I open doors and let them speak for me. Portraits blink and secrets dress in tugs. I sign my leaving with a fountain pen, midnight ink that doesn't smudge. I move like a rumor in velvet, a blade kept under a book's warm page. If she turns back the air, will tell her I left my cologne on the empty stage. What's gone can't circle if it wants to. I'll be the quiet she can't replace. I keep the waltz in my pocket and danger smiles behind good taste. I bow to the room without a sound, leave no footprints, just a line. I don't arrive, I happen in the night adjusts its spine.